2025, orthographically speaking, wasn't a great year. It wasn't terrible in the way that the protracted 2020 of these last 3 years was, but still. The highs were alright, but the lows were subterranean. Most of it was on me, though, I have to admit. I had a lot of goals, both personally and professionally, that I did not accomplish. Not because of a lack of skill or resources, but due to a lack of discipline on my part, and that feels bad. It's awful. I feel like the more I let it happen, the more I slack, the more my life slips away from me. I can't let it happen. I'm still alive somehow. The lion must start taking life somewhat seriously. I mean, sure, I could capitulate to the lazy man's way of doing things, but I hate those people. And for my hate to be properly justified, I must first strive to be better than them in all aspects. I have to work harder. I'm not working hard enough. I should work harder. I need to work harder. I'm not working hard enough. I need to work harder. I need to work fucking harder. Anyway, here's a list of my favorite things from 2025. Alright, give me some Japanese jazz for the intro, nigga. Yeah! This one is about Escaflowne. Escaflowne feels to me like one of those shows that's always been with me, despite the fact that I watched it for the first time in 2025. Embarrassing, I know, but like, I have a job now. I can't binge watch stuff like I did back when I was in community college or high school. But man, I feel stupid that I didn't get to this back when I had the time. It's really beautiful stuff all around. I love everything about this. I've been hearing this opening in different places since I was an actual child. Recognizing it in a JPEG Mafia beat wasn't my proudest moment, but hey, we take those, I guess. I've always been a sucker for 90s anime. The way it sounds, the way it looks. Ever since I got that half-ripped anime magazine in 2007 that I think was in English and Japanese, two languages that I could not read at the time. I don't know, nostalgia is a kind of depression, and as you've seen with most of my videos, I'm not a very cheerful person. Whenever I see one of those shows, like that old 90s, 80s shit, even some of the early 2000s stuff, it always feels like I'm unearthing something my younger self wasn't lucky enough to understand when he first saw it. Thankfully for him, we have pirated Genki textbooks and YouTube.com in the future. Yeah, this is peak television. I love everything about this. I can't wait to take more shows off the list of cool looking shit I only half remember from 30 years ago. Legend of the Galactic Heroes, you're next, baby. And Textualized too, that shit looks so cool. It's all very beautiful to me. I love old anime, man. It's so fucking beautiful. I can't believe they used to make this shit. Look at this. This one is about one battle after another. This is the movie Leonardo DiCaprio deserved to win an Oscar for, and Killers of the Flower Moon, but mostly this. I like this a lot more. His performance as Rocket Man Ghetto Pat is inspired. He's this nervous, smoked out mess who wants nothing less than the best for his daughter. I'm only slightly familiar with PTA's filmography, so I can't make any sweeping judgments, but this is the most lighthearted of his movies that I've seen. I haven't read Vineland, the Pynchon novel that this movie is loosely based on, but it's not hard to spot the Pynchon influence, the condemnation of 70s left-wing adventurism in lieu of actually meaningfully organizing, the unbelievably stupid names, Perfidia Beverly Hills, Stephen Lockjaw. I mean, the convent is called Sisters of the Brave Beaver. Come on! It's also very Pynchon-esque in how it has the most lowbrow sex jokes, followed by some real horrific acts of violence by a white supremacist state. It's not the kind of movie you'll enjoy if you take yourself too seriously, case in point. But for the rest of us who don't have bachelor's degrees in film, this is great work. The Red Army faction and the Weather Underground have set Western communism back by a century, at least. All cause they wanted to hook up and be heroes instead of actually organizing. This is why you listen to Ho Chi Minh. Always listen to Ho Chi Minh. God, fuck Andreas Baader. This one is about the Vince Staples Show, Season 2. Every day I see you is a fine day. Season 2 of the Vince Staples Show was as good as I thought it was going to be. Although I will admit, it's not half as good as seeing Vince on his press tour being all brand friendly and shit. The first season of the Vince Staples Show felt equal parts strange, funny, and horrific. Him coming back home after snuffing a guy out and sitting next to his boring girlfriend who asks her how his day went, and him just giving her the same boilerplate response he gives her every other day is really fucking funny. It's real darkness in this show, but you can't give the darkness too much room to breathe, because if you do, it will consume everything else. You have to suppress it with humor and irreverence. Unless you got therapy money, then you can do whatever you want. The surreal moments are my favorite, not for the spectacle but for what they reveal about Vince the character, and season 2 delivers on this and so much more. I love the shoot at the transitions into Uncle James' funeral. The Who Killed Massa episode that precedes that too is incredible. Not to mention the running bit of O.J. Simpson being his uncle. Him being in the Ford Bronco is just the funniest shit ever. I like it a little less than the first season, but ultimately it's still solid television.
It's autism in a pineapple Ciroc, nigga.
Vince and Kenya are like Glover and Mariah. They work really well together. Deadly combination. This one is about Sinners. This one is a bit bulky. I gotta go. I remember seeing the trailer for Sinners in late 2024, I think, and not knowing anything about this movie other than it's kinda scary and Michael B. Jordan is two niggas. Also, there's vampires, I think. It looked interesting and so I kept my eye out for it. I had no idea what I was in for.
You boys twins? Nah, we cousins.
Sinners is a goddamn ride, man. I love Coogler's directing, but I love his writing a lot more. There are so many conversations about eating pussy. There are so many conversations about cunnilingus in this movie. This is a movie about music as a spiritual practice, connecting us to our roots and to our future simultaneously. And so to be studious in your craft is to humble yourself before it. Anything beneath that and you are desecrating it. Remick, the Irish vampire, is such a beautiful character because he's not evil. Yes, he's a stand-in for cultural forces that Coogler finds parasitic and ghoulish, but he himself is not evil. He's scared and full of hate, and how can he not be? If he's as old as I think he is, then he was alive in the 16th century when Ireland was being stomped on by the British. It was a time of fear and hatred, first for them and then the entire world. Remick, in his fear, was forced from his home or fled to avoid getting killed, and in that state, he met the man at the crossroads who tuned his little banjo, giving him immense powers, with which he would try in vain to recreate the family he had lost. He just wants to sing and dance, you see. He wants music. He can't make any himself. That requires soul and he lost it when he made his deal, so he has to steal it from others. He wants to dance with his family, but he can't do that either. He's either outlived all of them or they've died by British hands, so he has to create mind-linked vampire slaves to share his stolen music with. And isn't that tragic? My favorite scene in this movie isn't the one where Miles performs in the juke joint. I love that scene dearly. I like how it transcends time in both directions, linking the diaspora musically. It's incredible, but my favorite scene has to be the one where Miles and Remick are in the river. Remick's got him, there's nowhere to go, and in a moment of church boy desperation, he turns to the Lord's Prayer only for Remick to say it with him.
Which art in heaven,
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation.
Long ago, the man who stole my father's land forced these words upon us. I hated those men, but the words still bring me comfort.
Me too, man. Me too. Holy shit. This one is about I Come With The Rain. This is a life-changing movie. I can't explain why it means so much to me without sounding like a serial killer, but the least I can say is that this movie is a stunning display of ball knowledge. Every part of this feels like an aesthetic miracle, kinda. You're not supposed to be able to make movies like this. It shouldn't happen. It feels almost too good to be true. The characters are noir, yes, but they feel like so much more than containers for the conventions of their genre. Everybody here performs at the height of their ability. Even Josh Hartnett, who seems to be doing Keanu Reeves if he met Jeffrey Dahmer. There's so much Godspeed You Black Emperor music in this movie, it's actually crazy. You should watch this. I think the soundtrack has Radiohead too, which, you know, fuck Tom York, he's a bitch, but like the music is really good. You should watch this movie. Like, you really should watch this. If there's one takeaway from this whole video is that you should watch I Come With The Rain. Unless you have a weak stomach, but even then, you should try.
In Golgotha, there is the most sublime tree, a cross, and the most sublime body created from the suffering of mankind.
We all have to try.
I'm going to spread the good news.
This one is about Bleach, A 1,000-Year Blood War. I spent the better part of my teenage years reading The 1,000-Year Blood War and wondering what it would look like. And man, I'm so glad I waited until there was enough of it to really binge on. It's everything I wanted and more. Tomohisa Taguchi and Hikaru Murata both understand more than anyone that to adapt a Tite Kubo manga is to translate unspeakable swag into motion. In fact, I'm sure he made them painfully aware of during every step of this show's production. You cannot be basic, you cannot half-ass this brother. He has like executive decision making. Not after people have waited this long can you fuck this up. Look at these panels, dog. Look at how fucking sick these look. You either do this justice or you don't even fucking bother. The animation is incredible. The compositing is some of the best I've seen, I think. And the editing like rightfully translates that Bleach chapter page vibe to the temporal medium of television. This is peak. This is the treatment that this manga deserves. This is how I wanted to experience the story of Death and the Strawberry. This is about hypernormalization. Adam Curtis is an archive filmmaker who works for the BBC. His movies are documentaries made purely from his own minimal voiceover and footage he's found in the BBC's extensive archives that one day I will get access to, inshallah. The subject matter is something that is very near and dear to my soul. The strange, almost static collapse of the empire, how the world seems to be in a barren place where nothing happens and we seem to be doomed to a life of eternal suffering and humiliation with no end in sight. Hypernormalization is about how this horrific state of affairs came to be, using both New York and Syria as the two cities from which this tale is told from. It's a movie about neoliberalism without ever saying the words neoliberalism once, I think. The man is incredibly smart, obviously, but also, how does he have this much footage of like the New York bond issues meeting where the banks didn't show up? He holds his shorts for longer than I would, but if I was in his position, I would also be luxuriating in the amount of footage I can work with. Adam Curtis is a man of astute insight, the kind I didn't think it could be possible from a British man of that age who works for the British Broadcasting Corporation. I also watched Bitter Lake, his documentary on Afghanistan, and there's a clip in there that haunts me. It's so beautiful. So it was during the time when America thought that they could quote-unquote civilize the Afghan population. So this clip is a woman in a class teaching people about modern art, and she has a picture of Marcel Duchamp's fountain, my beloved fountain, and she's trying her best to explain fountains to these Afghan villagers, doing a real shit job. It's so funny. It's beautiful. It's too good to be real. There's no way that's real. It's fabricated. It has to be fabricated. It's so crazy. Like, one of the women in the audience is slowly moving her head and just staring at this urinal on her classroom screen. It is a piece of art unto itself. The disbelief on her face is golden. Adam Curtis is a god. I'm gonna watch everything that this dude has ever made. Seeing these movies is going to drastically influence how I make videos from now on. How can it not? These movies are going to live in my head until I die. I can't believe they just let him make these. These are incredible.
Thousands of the liberal activists who had begun the revolution 2 years before, summoned by social media, now welcomed the military back by waving their laser pens at the helicopters flying overhead.
Brockhampton's dissolution, with what has to have been the worst Kevin Abstract album, made worse by the fact that it says Brockhampton on the cover, has left a really bad taste in mine and other people's mouths. So the universe has been slowly and irregularly filling the Brockhampton-shaped void in all of our hearts. There's a bunch of divorced rapper boy bands now. Los Angeles has Illusion Hills, South Africa has 12 Dogs, who I love dearly and wish were more popular, and New York has Whatmore. Whatmore consists of
Sebastiano,
Cisco,
This is Jackson.
a group of friends who met in a performing arts high school, who were already doing solo music but were collabing so often that it just ended up making sense for them to form a band. Their sound is a very well done mixture of pop rap and indie music. Their self-titled album is some really easy listening. Elijah, their producer, who is responsible for most of their hip-hop sound, does a really good job pulling influences from, I assume, Mavi and Overcast. The indie sound is courtesy of Jackson, the only white guy in the crew. The other guy's Italian, them niggas is not white, he does not count. Blends in really well and has some of my favorite slow moments on this album. The song Jenny is easily a standout in this whole project, which is hard because all of them are so damn good. The thing that I love about these guys, on top of the music being very good, is how good they are at marketing, which sounds strange, but like, have you seen how musicians promote themselves now, man? Begging for crumbs of attention on TikTok is so depressing. Like, I wonder how many people actually succeed doing that. It can't be that many, right? It looks so demeaning, and these guys have a pretty graceful strategy. They take these popular songs and start flipping them and rap on them in short form videos, and then have those in a little tape on Bandcamp. And then there's these very tightly written and beautifully edited introduction videos for every member as they introduce the singles on the albums. These are so good. They're so full of life and charm, and they're real good. They give every single member like a sense of interiority, so nobody feels like they're just kind of there. Everybody has a place that they play in, and it's all beautiful, and like it all comes together so fucking well. Whatmore is an incredible band and an incredible album. Sometimes I wish more than anything that I had friends I could make art like this with. I bet that feels really nice, to sing in a band with all of your friends like that.
She's scared to try again.
Black British music. We've been making asses shake since the windfall. Digital music production has allowed us to make and remake any sound we can imagine, and some that we can't, and to arrange them in ways that were unimaginable decades ago. It's very rare you find someone who you feel is freaking the software in ways you haven't really seen before, but Jim Legacy is one such guy. Jim is a genre-bending house hip-hop dance nigga from London whose influences are so numerous it doesn't come off as pastiche when he does the most obvious homages ever. Black British Music is his second album, a follow-up to Homeless Nigga Pop Music, which was one of the saddest albums of 2023. It is also littered with references to Jim's culture as a British kid who loves doing the kind of stupid drugs that British kids love doing, and also as a black boy who is the son of Nigerian immigrants. It's a beautiful album. His voice is so beautiful and somber. The Dave guest verse on here is really good. It's a real standout moment of rapping on the album. I love that this nigga will not go 30 seconds without letting you know I am black and I am British. I will be playing this for years to come, decades even. There's just one thing that I hate about it. I just really wish that Black British music was not brought to me by Fast Gas. Personally, like, please stop doing nitrous, man. You're too talented to be doing nitrous. Please, brother, please. Oh, just British drugs are so stupid. I hate all these motherfuckers. Getting killed. I'm always getting killed. I can't believe that this was produced by Kenny Beats, man. Sometimes an event in cracker music creates waves that crest so high I simply must pay attention. This happened when Morgan Wallen said the N-word, when Phoebe Bridgers' Punisher came out, and recently when a band of greasy, soft-spoken early 20-somethings from New York released an album called Getting Killed. That's a really good name. The album is really good too. One of the first things that really piqued my interest was when I first saw these guys and saw just how much people hated them, and in the ways that they would express that hatred. You know you're in for something interesting when people on Instagram call you Starbucks music. It shows that you're not making generic, easy on the ears, chart-filling garbage. Getting Killed is none of those things. What it is fucking strange, man. These guys have such a unique sound, and it pulls in so many strange directions when they needed to, and it's all tied together by frontman Cameron Winter's young old man voice, which he twists and stretches to incredible effect. Whether it's him crooning about getting a lobotomy on Half Real, or the strained ambiguous emotional delivery on I'll Pay Do Cocaine, or him screaming at the top of his lungs about the bomb in his car. Winter's surreal and abstract lyrics are also part of why I kept coming back to this. It's like an expressionist painting but made of words. I want to understand so badly what the fuck he's talking about on Bow Down. The parts that I can't understand are very powerful. You're right, Cameron. He with no money does have the most to sell. This is gonna sound kind of disrespectful, but he kind of reminds me of Elucid in a way, like the way Elucid structures his raps. Now, most underground hip hop guys are gonna hear that and hate me for it, but like I don't know, man. Here, come on, give it a chance. Listen to it, and then come on. Tell me you're sorry in my comments, because I'm obviously right. Cameron's singing on this album left such an impression on me. It made me want to check out not only their other albums but his solo stuff as well. And man, yeah, this kid's gonna be around for a very long time. Okay, I've been listening to his unreleased concert stuff, and I can't believe that the guy who wrote this is like 23 or 22. How is this guy younger than me, man? These lyrics should not have been written by hands that have held an Xbox controller. I should not be able to meet this guy in a fucking Overwatch lobby. That's crazy. This is the part about Gollywog and Mercy. I'm doing both at the same time, which is not doing them justice, but like, nigga, I'm tired. Billy Woods is my favorite rapper. It oscillates between him and Earl depending on the day and how I'm feeling. But I remember hearing Haram for the first time, the album he made with his friend and longtime collaborator Elucid under their group Arm & Hammer, in collaboration with bald magnanimous hip-hop white guy The Alchemist. Mercy is their second collaboration project, and while I love it slightly less, it's still an elite album. Like, it's crazy. Woods' verses still feel like scenes in a non-linear movie about Southern Africa in the 80s. Images bleed in and out of each other and superimpose onto one another at the same time. And while it sounds like these lyrics have nothing to do with each other, they do. They really do. They are not random lyrics. They all inform each other. You just need to know the smallest possible amount of ball to figure it out. Alchemist could have come a lot more correct on this album if I'm being honest. These beats are not his best work, not even in his top 50. Scandinavia is an Alchemist-ass Alchemist beat. I can hear 7 different rappers on this. Fortunately, Woods and Elucid are better than all of those guys, so what we get is one of the best songs on the album. If you're not big into this kind of abrasive, deep, and very heavy hip-hop, listen to Scandinavia and Sir Benny Miles. The songs are so good, even the more ardent, leather-chewing Philistine would have to wipe the drool from their mouth and pay attention. Woods also had a solo project out this year, which I love deeply. A horror movie themed album with the horror expressed through the malevolent presence of a gollywog. This racist Jim Crow caricature that is still big in the Netherlands because of course it is. Those people are uncivilized. Gollywog is incredible. Some of Woods' most frantic and malevolent raps are on this project. Waterproof Mascara has this wailing woman as the base of the beat, and the calmness with which Woods delivers the line.
My house full of gas, my kids cry and laugh right after. Psychopaths.
Really makes that song for me. Lead Paint Test is one of the saddest songs I've ever heard. I say this because that specific feeling he mentions in that song that he evokes there is one that I felt intimately. Secrets linger in doors that have never been opened, and nobody talks about it, but there's no secret really. The knowledge is there and it oppresses everyone, even the children. I haven't been home in forever, but the kids still see ghosts. I remember how it felt when I first found out they tore my grandmother's hut down. I don't think I've ever been that sad in my life. It felt like I've been robbed of something I didn't know could be stolen from me. That will never happen again. The next time a nigga tried to take from me like that, one of us is going to die. One of us has to die. That's on my mother's soul. That's on everybody's soul, I swear to God. I realized this year that I'm really bad at finishing books. There's like a still fresh copy of Infinite Jest in my desk drawer right now. And I just started Roberto Bolaño's 2666, which is about the same size as Infinite Jest, and man, I am losing steam on that first part. There is also the Prostitute trilogy, which I'm almost like a third of the way through. I need to finish that one, man. Volman is an insane person and an even crazier writer. Like, have you seen this guy's literary corpus? He's got like 50 books or something, both fiction and non-fiction, and some of them are the size of several Bibles apparently. And they're all great, or at least good. Man, I should work harder. I should finish these. I'm not working hard enough. I really should work harder. I didn't play many games in 2025 because I was busy either being too employed or hating myself for being too tired during my free time to, make anything. The few games that I did play, I don't think I rolled credits on. I did play Katamari Damacy because, you have to play Katamari Damacy. Nobody can hurt you if you're playing the 2004 PlayStation 2 classic Katamari Damacy. That's a place with no pain. Thank you, Keita Takahashi. I did also touch Deathloop for a few hours, and that's an insanely swagged out video game. I'm going to spend the next few years trying very hard to look as good as the nigga on that cover. I'm definitely going back and finishing that one soon. I love Prey and I'm sure I'll love this too. It also sucks what happened to those people, man. Arcane Austin did not deserve to go out like that. Those people are so fucking talented. I love how fucking volatile and stupid the video game industry is. I also played the first 2 levels of I Am Your Beast. Xavier Nelson is slowly but firmly putting himself in the same position as Sam Lake and Hideo Kojima in my head. This guy loves casting himself in the games that his studio makes. It's very funny. Even their cancelled Buster Reeves game looked like he was gonna be the protagonist. It's a fascinating creative choice. I have to respect it. I Am Your Beast is incredibly fun to play. Nothing feels as good as chaining kills and weapon grabs in that game. That's also getting finished very soon, and from the looks of it, it won't even take me that long. I also played Elden Ring for like the 4th time. I think I have like 700 hours in that game now. As a piece of art, this game is excellent. It always has been, down to the DLC. As a piece of functional software, man, it is abysmal dog shit. I can't believe this thing is still eating my inputs. I forgot how much it does that. I can't believe they haven't fixed that shit since like 2022. Whole DLC, other video game, constantly updated, no fix. Crazy. This just sold like 25 million copies, man. Leave it to FromSoft to be FromSoft, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it, basically. In a perfect world, this video would have come out on December 31st, 2025, but like, give me some grace, man. I'm just now getting my shit together. I need a minute to get this machine to start firing off like it needs to. Last year's showing was paltry. I didn't even really step on the field like that for real. I was benched for most of it. I don't know if I'll ever hit the kind of buckets I was in 2024, but Lord knows I'm still gonna stand on that 3-point line and fucking shoot, baby. We'll see if I really understand it now. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Instagram at petrol_and_coffee_YT, where you'll get to see my artwork and hear me rant about making videos and revel in my immaculate taste in underground hip-hop. And there's going to be a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff this year, because I'm going to upload frequently, believe it or not. Like, trust me, bro. You can also follow me on Blue Sky. Twitter is a CP-riddled hellhole right now, so I'm really not trying to use that this year. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Salut.